5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
This is About Space, America's return to space, with news and information on our U.S. space program. Is your host of About Space, David Denault.
Welcome, and thanks for joining me today. UFOs are back in the news in a startling report. As a result of a filing of a Freedom of Information Act, the secretive U.S. Department of Defense released more than 1,500 pages of UFO-related material. On April 22nd, the U.S. Intelligence Agency, the DIA, honored the request and declassified the files. The report describes 42 cases from medical files and 300 unpublished cases where humans sustained injuries after alleged encounters with alien vehicles.
What separates these from anything else that we have in our current inventory is quite simple. There's 5 observables that associate, when you look at something as a UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena, as being truly unique. That's instantaneous acceleration, hypersonic velocity, low observability, trans-medium travel, the ability to operate in multiple environments or domains, and last but not least, in the vernacular, would be anti-gravity. The ability to fly with no wings, control surfaces, no obvious signs of propulsion, even, frankly, not even a cockpit.
He is the man who headed our top secret UFO programs, Luis Elizondo. Next, as America and the world is listening to About Space Today. Ever dream of an island getaway at an all-inclusive resort? Or going on an island-hopping cruise to multiple island destinations? See sun-bleached beaches and swim in the azure waters of the Caribbean Sea. Call today for your special discount prices to your island getaway. This is a special offer for About Space by calling 877-747-8631. And let's go and explore the islands of the Caribbean. Welcome back. The 1,574-page report said that in some cases, humans showed burn injuries or other conditions related to electromagnetic radiation. The report went on to say that some of them appearing to have been inflicted by, quote, energy, end quote, related propulsion systems. It also noted cases of brain damage, nerve damage, heart palpitations, and headaches related to these alien encounters. Beside the President of the United States, Luis Elizondo headed the once secret study of alien spacecraft that he says are not ours, and these human encounters are real.
Actually, it's even more than that. This is not, the notion of where, let's say, grandma saw some lights in the backyard. These are military eyewitnesses. In some cases, they're fighter pilots or they're security personnel that have come up close and personal with a UAP, or I guess in the vernacular, UFO. And in some cases, they have sustained significant, some sort of medical trauma, something that can be looked at and quantified and qualified and measured as some sort of biological effect, that they didn't suffer these consequences until they came up close and personal to a UFO. Look, I was part of the program. I ran the program for a better part of 8 years on this topic. It is absolutely real. And now, finally, because of the pressure put by Congress and people like you in the media, finally our government is beginning to become more transparent about this topic and tell the truth about this topic in a way that I wasn't at liberty to have the conversation 4 years ago when you and I first started talking with each other. And again, let me just preface, preliminarily speaking, it's probably just a consequence of the advanced technology.
So if they are not from here, are they adversarial?
We've been looking at this for a long time, and if anyone seems to suggest that China or Russia back in 1950s had the ability to travel at hypersonic speeds and do 90-degree turns in midair after doing 8,000 miles an hour, then you're looking at the greatest intelligence failure this country has ever had, eclipsing that of 9/11, by the way, by an order of magnitude. So no, I think it's fair to say at this point, suffice it to say, this is probably not some sort of adversarial technology we're dealing with.
So it appears they are really not human and not of planet Earth. Thank you, Lou, for sharing your thoughts on these newly released documents.
Always Pleasure. Thank you.
And when I return, comments from the man who headed England's UFO program. Next, as America and the world is listening to About Space Today. Ever dream of an island getaway at an all-inclusive resort? Or going on an island-hopping cruise to multiple island destinations? See sun-bleached beaches and swim in the azure waters of the Caribbean Sea. Call today for your special discount prices to your island getaway. This is a special offer for About Space by calling 877-747-8631. And let's go and explore the islands of the Caribbean. Welcome back to this extended program on the new release of government secrets on alien encounters with humans. He is the former head of Britain's UFO program, Nick Pope, who says this phenomena is now mainstream.
Well, it says that this phenomenon has completely come out of the fringe and into the mainstream, and that it's now being recognized by the United States government, the military, and the intelligence community as a serious defense and national security issue. A few years ago, this would have all been dismissed as crazy talk and X-Files science fiction. But now we learn the government has been taking it seriously. These people have encountered something, and we know that because and this is in the report, of course, it's not just eyewitness testimony. Some of these things have been simultaneously tracked on radar and filmed on forward-looking infrared cameras. And of course, last summer, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence produced a preliminary assessment on all this, and they said, frankly, we don't know what we're dealing with, but it's in our airspace, and it's a potential threat to the defense of the United States. Well, multiple UFO provisions were written into the new defense bill, and Congress is going to make sure that all the different parts of the military and the intelligence community work on this. There are going to be regular reports to Congress. Some of that, of course, is going to be classified, but there should be at least one public report each year. And a lot of people are asking very serious questions about this, and rightly so. This is long overdue.
The report concludes that there is sufficient evidence, quote, to support a hypothesis that some advanced systems are already deployed and opaque to full U.S. understandings, end quote. And this Friday, join me. I was there. Stories from Apollo 16's 50th anniversary. And to all our friends around the globe and here in the U.S., thank you for joining me. I'm David Denault, and this has been About Space Today.